Okay, guys, today we're going to be reacting to Why Classic SpongeBob Will Hate Modern SpongeBob by SpongeBob Universe. I said this in the first Gumball Universe video. I'm going to repeat myself because now that I've watched this one, we're going to start watching the other SpongeBob Universe videos that get posted. This is the same guy that owns the Gumball Universe and SML Universe channels. It's the same guy, and yeah, so let's start this video.
SpongeBob is probably the most friendly character on TV, and it seems like he has absolutely no enemies. Well, except for himself. More specifically, his newer, more annoying self. So in this video, we're gonna look at why classic SpongeBob would absolutely despise modern SpongeBob, starting off by seeing what things actually make classic SpongeBob mad. Now, seeing SpongeBob angry is probably rarer than you going outside, but there are a few times where we can see classic SpongeBob get extremely mad, and we're gonna use those to build a profile for him. Starting in the season 1 episode, Pickles, where a longtime rival of SpongeBob shows up to the Krusty Krab, Bubble Bass.
I hear talk you're kinda picky.
And SpongeBob has a good reason for not liking him, because Bubble Bass gaslights SpongeBob and says that he forgot pickles on his Krabby Patty. This causes SpongeBob to spiral and destroy his own life, thinking he actually forgot how to make a Krabby Patty. But at the end of this episode, after all of the self-doubt and PTSD that SpongeBob went through, it's revealed that Bubble Bass lied the whole time, and he was just hiding the pickles under his tongue.
Wait a minute! Look, he's been hiding the pickles under his tongue the whole time.
This makes the other restaurant goers shame Bubble Bass and praise SpongeBob. A lot of people think that SpongeBob was mad at Bubble Bass the entire episode, and while he certainly was angry when he found out that Bubble Bass was lying, throughout the episode, we can see that SpongeBob was more angry with himself. This is because he takes a lot of pride in working at the Krusty Krab, so when he fails at his job, it mortifies him. Therefore, we can see that classic SpongeBob gets mad when people lie and when he doesn't succeed at his job, which we will see later in this video is very different from modern SpongeBob. Very, very different. Another prime example of classic SpongeBob getting mad is in the season 3 episode called Can You Spare a Dime? This episode follows SpongeBob taking care of Squidward after he gets fired from the Krusty Krab for supposedly stealing a dime. SpongeBob eventually gets fed up with Squidward being unappreciative and mooching off of him, so he tries subtly telling him to get a job, but that doesn't work. So he lets Squidward know what he wants, but that still doesn't work, which causes SpongeBob to explode, shoving Squidward's bed so hard that it bursts through his house and into the Krusty Krab, where SpongeBob goes off on Mr. Krabs about how petty he's being. This freakout is so iconic that in the SpongeBob Angriest Moments compilation by Nickelodeon, this is the first clip that plays. This episode shows that SpongeBob hates people who are mooches, petty, and don't appreciate his help, which is exactly what modern SpongeBob starts to become in these later seasons. But we get to see more of classic SpongeBob's personality in the episode Dying for Pie. In this episode, Squidward gave SpongeBob a pie with a bomb in it, which he supposedly eats. Squidward, feeling really bad, tries giving SpongeBob the greatest day ever. After they do a whole day of things, SpongeBob starts to really like Squidward, and this makes him feel guilty. Squidward keeps waiting for the bomb to blow up inside of him, starting to get a little emotional, which is rare for Squidward, but after a while, it looks like it won't. This is when Squidward angrily asks SpongeBob why he won't explode, which SpongeBob misinterprets what he's saying, and explodes in anger at Gary, saying,
Gary! You are gonna finish your dessert, and you are gonna like it!
Although this is SpongeBob getting intentionally mad, it does show that he has a lot of pent-up rage towards whenever Gary doesn't listen to him. Therefore, we can say that SpongeBob gets very angry when people don't listen to him. And the point about listening is exacerbated. In the episode, I Was Teenage Gary. This episode is one of the rare times where the fan base thinks that Squidward was the worst part of the episode. This is because SpongeBob gives Gary to Squidward in order to take care of him, while SpongeBob goes to the jellyfish farm, and Squidward just neglects Gary. This leaves Gary in a really rough state, and SpongeBob gets upset, further reinforcing the idea that he doesn't like it when people don't listen to him. The final one, we're gonna look—
Why do you think he would help you, bro? You and Patrick always annoy him so much. Why would he help you? Like, that's on you. You should have known he wasn't going to help.
at to really find all of classic SpongeBob's triggers is in the episode Rock Bottom. In this episode, SpongeBob needs to catch a bus to head home from Glove World. He tries cutting to the front of the line, but for some reason, all the fish in the line are horrifying. So he just goes to the back of the line. 329th in line to be exact. This is made worse by how the guy in front of him laid an egg with 3 kids inside, making him 332nd in line. SpongeBob's patience has ran out, and he absolutely crashes out. But nobody cares. This shows that although classic SpongeBob is a very patient guy, he has limits. So any repeated annoyances would probably get under his skin. This is the biggest differentiator between modern and classic SpongeBob. Classic SpongeBob, while being funny and slightly overbearing, does have limits, whereas modern SpongeBob doesn't care and thinks the more annoying, the more funny. It's one of the biggest complaints that people have over modern SpongeBob. Now, we've established that classic SpongeBob hates liars, people who don't listen to him, people who don't appreciate him, failing at his job, and generally when people go too far by doing something like repeatedly annoying and mooching off of him. So now that we know all of his personality traits and boundaries, let's look at some times where modern SpongeBob fits into all of these categories that would annoy classic SpongeBob. And since a lot of fans think that modern SpongeBob starts around season 5, let's start there. Season 5, episode 14, To Love a Patty, is one of the most infamous episodes of SpongeBob, with tons of gross out shots. This has to be one of the most egregiously annoying appearances SpongeBob has ever had. This is not only because he falls in love with a literal Krabby Patty, but he also shoves his love for this inanimate object in everyone's face, which causes his life to spiral out of control. His friends abandon him, but
how does that work? How is there water underwater? Because aren't they underwater? How is there water? How is he walking in water?
Which was so bad that he scared off the customers
confused.
of the Krusty Krab. This would not only get under classic SpongeBob's nerves, but as seen in the Pickles episode, SpongeBob gets really tilted when he doesn't do his job right, which is exactly what he's doing in this episode as he scares off the customers. Jumping ahead to season 13, our next episode is A Plain to Sea. In this episode, Squidward tries to escape from the nightmare that is his day-to-day life by going on vacation. But SpongeBob and Patrick need to be with Squidward 24/7, so they do everything they can to stop the flight. This would enrage classic SpongeBob, not only because he loves Squidward, but also seeing someone try to stop his vacation would make him mad. Another reason though is because Squidward makes it clear multiple times that this is just a vacation and that he's coming back, but modern SpongeBob doesn't pick up on that. And as we've already established, classic SpongeBob really doesn't like when people don't listen. But now let's fall down to the deepest pits of hell, moving our way into season 6. This is when SpongeBob, both the show and the character, completely fell off, and this is shown in the episode Boating Buddies. You might have been noticing a pattern that a lot of SpongeBob's bad behavior comes from his interactions with Squidward, and this episode is no different. He literally treats Squidward so badly that he tries to pay him to leave, which doesn't work because he already paid him the day before to leave him alone. Eventually, Squidward gets so mad that he drives away and runs to a stop sign, which causes his boating license to get revoked. And so he needs to go to boating school, where none other than SpongeBob shows up. SpongeBob then accidentally gets Squidward beaten up twice and put in a full body cast, which meant he had failed the final test. This further emphasizes the annoyance of modern SpongeBob, that not only was numbing to the brain, but actually got someone hurt, which classic SpongeBob would not be happy with. The final episode episode we'll look at to prove this is in Man Ray Returns. In this episode, we get to see a side of SpongeBob that is very unusual, and that's his cruelty. Yes, you heard me right. SpongeBob is actually quite cruel in this episode to Man Ray, who just wants to enjoy his vacation crime-free. But SpongeBob makes his life an absolute nightmare out of pure unjustified rage towards him. This goes against the main value of not just classic SpongeBob, but all of SpongeBob, his loving and caring personality. So in this situation, modern SpongeBob would 100% catch the full wrath of classic SpongeBob. So in conclusion, SpongeBob's character fall off has become so drastic that the character we once knew in season 1 would hate what he has become in the later seasons.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be the end of the video. Bye, guys.